just to go off what Matilda was saying, you know, there's just so many, I mean, how many people are on the earth right now? Like 7 billion? Like, I mean, for the amount of artists I've seen and the music I listen to, like, I try to listen to everything. You know, as a producer, I like to, you know, listen to what Flex is playing. I like to see what's on this blog and this blog. So I try to consider myself someone that's trying to be very much in tune with pop music, whether it's, you know, electronic hip hop, whether it's UK or Asia, where you have, you know, Psy all of a sudden blowing up in Korea, you know, and I have a backstory about that I won't get into, but pretty wild how he blew up. But there's so many people now, and like Telly said, the lines are so smeared. You know, you can consider a guy like, I don't know, like A$AP Rocky, you know, he's got a huge movement going on. And he's great, and, you know, Kendrick Lamar, you know, considered one of the top MCs of 2013.
We're not going to talk about
Rare,
that.
but
He deserves to be the good.
Right.
We're not going to talk about that, Gladiators.
and then you have an unknown,
Thank you.
right? And then you have an unknown, or a plethora of unknown artists, quote unquote unknown, because they're not getting radio play.
Right.
But they're touring worldwide. They're making a ton of money. They have huge fan bases, and most people in here probably don't know who they are, but they exist. So I think now it's just really a bunch of people kind of coexisting now, where there's just so much abundance and so many people willing to spend money and listen to different music. I mean, it's a free-for-all now. You know, you could be anybody and be relatively off the radar, but still live a pretty good
And
life.
still sell your music
Absolutely.
on iTunes.
And while the world stage may be smeared, but don't pass up an opportunity, like you said, Josh said, you gotta come to the house and hang out for a week. There is something amazing that occurs when you break bread, when you sleep on the couch, when you all, you know, watch TV and that has nothing to do with music, and then you wake up and then, you know, in the middle of long kiss goodnight, you have your aha moment. So don't pass up that opportunity, because that even though we're in the technology age, let's not lose the human touch, which is all about it.
Okay, this is for all of you, is your main reference point in the UK, is it London, or, you know, does Liverpool does a Liverpudlian MC stand a chance anytime soon? Let's cut the fat hair.
I'm gonna come clean. Like when I'm in England, I just know it's just like it's like East London, West London. I don't really notice like like how it's spread out. So like I just know like I don't like South London. I don't know if I go to England. I don't know if I'm in the hood or the nice part. So it's just like, you know, I'm a traveler man. So like, I don't know. You know, I feel like I don't want to say I bunch everybody together, but I just always be like, oh, we from the UK, the England guys. You know,
Really? So you all just sound alike then?
So hey, you know, maybe I need to just go abroad and just soak it up. You know, I got a friend over here now. You know, Master Shorty. He's from England, and he's American now. He might catch him in New York, might catch him in Chicago, might catch him in LA, and he calls his project studying abroad. And I feel like maybe, you know, maybe I can take a year out of my life and just go over there and just kick it, because I'm intrigued by everything. Like, I watch a lot of movies like Top Boy and Kiddo Hood, and it's like, it just got me like fascinated by like the lifestyle they live in. Maybe I just need to go over there and kick it so I can figure out what's like up and down, you know?
Going along, Liverpudlian MC.
I mean,
Standing a chance anytime soon.
I'm pretty much with Telly, but I mean, music is just so weird. Like, you can have that moment tomorrow. Maybe that person exists today, you know? Or Asia. But who knows, you know? I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, I think the recurring conversation is that it's just worldwide now. You just never know. Like, this guy, Psy, this Korean dude, out of nowhere, just dominating the charts. I'm not co-signing because I think the song, you know, it's not my cup of tea, but it's worldwide, and that kind of happened out of nowhere. So you just never know.
You would definitely, as a producer, be open to that.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. I mean, good music's good music. So.
Jay.
I mean, I would say one thing. I think that the thing about New York, in terms of hip hop, is that every borough has its own identity. And you would hear that from the earliest days where it would, battling borough to borough or shouting out your borough. And, growing up far away, like I identify all of these MCs with the borough that they come from. And I don't know that it's like that
Yes.
anywhere else. I mean, I feel like the lines are drawn across like football and, in the UK.
And it's exactly the same, honest to goodness, it's exactly the same thing. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I haven't been back to London since, I think, 2001. So, admittedly, I haven't been back since 2001. The last time I was there, I threw an album release party for Common in Subterranea in Ladbroke Grove for his, Water for Chocolate album. So that tells you how long ago it's been since I've been home. But what I can tell you is that since the last time I've been there, what hasn't changed is the flourishing and replenishing of new blood coming into the world of hip hop, whether it be through the realms of grime, through dubstep, whether it be through those channels. The TV show is still the same.
What I've noticed, briefly, I don't know too much, but when I watch, I've noticed, a lot of the UK, English rappers, they'll go from grime. They start grime, and there's, the crazy grime flow, hard beats, but then they kind of evolve into, mainstream. So it's that's how it goes out. It goes, grime, and they evolve into, these big, celebrity rappers.
I think what I can say from my experience, because again, I've left London
Were you ever been to any grime raps?
I've never done grime raps.
You should write a rap.
I've never done grime raps, but I think that partly because, honestly, some of what was happening with grime derived from what I was doing, and when I say I don't mean me specifically, personally, I mean from what everybody in my set was doing. And to get into the difference between territories, just like in the United States, people that, rhyming from Harlem sound different from the MCs from Brooklyn, from the MCs from the Bronx. Exactly the same thing in the UK. There was MCs that came from Liverpool, sounded completely different to MCs that came from South London, to MCs that came from North London, Finsbury Park, all of that. And we battle each other. It was definitely different, just the same as here, different areas, different sounds. There was this girl rapper from Wolverhampton that I battled one time, and I was astonished at her. I was like, oh my God, this girl's incredible. But everybody had their sort of different sound. So I shouldn't be dominating, I'm the moderator, but being from the UK, I just wanted to add that. I would really, really be so happy to see more of my fellow MCs from all the different regions of the UK get to work with some esteemed producers and folks such as yourself, and artists, and get the grooming also, and just be able to flourish a bit more here, because I feel as though, to a certain extent, as far as MCs go in the UK, there's been a sort of door closed.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Did you know, from this person, because when I was young, my step-pops used to have record collections, and he had the 12-inch Symphony in the middle. Did you know back then that you were kind of legit advanced? The way you was spitting back then was kind of
No.
the flow was kind of it wasn't really messing with you, not to teach your horn, but back then you had a mean flow.
No, I did not realize how mean of a flow I had when I began at 14 years old until maybe 4 weeks ago.
See, that's another thing.
No.
I don't know if you're being serious or you're taking a piss.
That's more dry British humor. No, honestly, I didn't realize how sick of the flow I had until later on. And it took people such as Nas to explain it to me, and Jay-Z to explain it to me. And, rest in peace, Guru from Gangstar to explain it to me. And honestly, they were like, Jay-Z said to me, you have the craziest, flick, trippy flow that I've ever heard, period. Man, woman, or child. And it was things like that said from such wordsmiths such as him and Nas and stuff. It resonated. So honestly, no, I was just doing what I love to do. And a lot of us in England are extremely, if you've watched any TV shows come out of the UK, we're extremely quick-witted, we're very wordy people, in the UK, and we mix that up together. I sucked in math in school, but I excelled in English literature, poetry, anything to do with the English language and being wordy. I was extremely good at school and could get myself out of, I could talk to Sister Philomena when I got in trouble, because I went to a Catholic school, all girls, and I could talk myself out of a caning like nobody's business. And that's just because we're worthy and we're quick-witted, and that just comes with the territory.
And I'll say something to that. There's two rappers that I've encountered, both UK rappers, where never heard of them before. And one of them, at Nick Show Power Summit, about 6-7 years ago, there was a battle they would do every year. And there was this big battle between Jin and, I can't even actually remember the name of the dude, but the round before the finals, in comes this kid named Professor Green. And Professor Green, I don't know if his level of popularity in the UK now, but this kid could spit, and I'm talking about quick-witted, like he stepped in the ring with, Jin, who at the time was a phenomenal battle rapper, and he damn near won. I mean, he really was like the crowd sort of popular favorite off of that, just off of the ability, his wordplay, his quick-wittedness. The other guy's a guy named Maestro, who I encountered, another one who I never heard of him before, but as soon as I heard him, I had to give him his props, and there was a quality to, like a literary quality to his words that really caught my attention. And one thing that, something else that I always gave, overseas MCs props for, when I was in high school, I lived in France for a little while, back when MC Solar was first coming out. And the thing that blew me away about him is that he had, I think, a doctorate in letters, which is the equivalent of a literary degree, and he was a rapper. So, the wordplay that he incorporated, it got the respect of the sort of, mainstream and that, and also the, underground heads. And I feel like that to me is the next level. It's like that MC that can come along and take little bits of everything the way producers like Illmind do and put them together in this package. Like take, little bits of this and that and incorporate it all together to convey a message that resonates with everyone, no matter where you're from. And those are the people that I'm checking for, whether from UK or anywhere in the world.
Good, so it's safe to say that you're absolutely open to all of your areas of expertise, working with more Liverpudlians in the UK and all of them, period, yeah? Okay, good. My last question, well actually it's not a question, I'd like to go down the line and I'll start with Dr. LaJoyce. Your current projects, if you could tell us about your current projects. You can, yeah.
Well, I'm a full-time mother. I have a 10-year-old, like I said, 11, and so that means I had her when I was 40. What was I thinking? But I was a little busy running around the world, so I'm kind of nestled in the Poconos and comfortably, and like I said, music does draw me out every now and again. One of the things that I have been doing, I have been writing books, and I wrote Soul Food that was based on the movie. And I also wrote the book, we have it here today, it's called The Last Listening Party. It's a pictorial of Biggie's actual last listening party, God bless you. And we had his party at Arista Records, and little did we know that 2 weeks later he'd be dead. Elijah Muhammad is the photographer, he's also here. And the narrative in the book I wrote about Biggie's experience, behind the scenes experience that has never been told before, about from the beginning of his career to its end. And so that's what I'm doing.
I want to see that book, by the way. Current projects, for me, right now, the main thing that I'm doing, like I said before, is I'm the music supervisor for the Brooklyn Nets. So basically what that entails is curating and choosing the music, and then also making custom remixes and edits that they play at the stadium. Really has been an amazing experience. As a mixtape DJ, the primary hurdle of my life has been sample clearances. So to work in a building where they have a blanket license for everything that plays, and I can go to town with whatever I want, really like Phil Collins in the Air remix, like you name it, and it's all legal, is really opening my mind up. I also just did a project with an author, actually, New York Times bestselling author named Adam Mansbach, who wrote a novel about, takes place in graffiti era New York, and there's so much musical about the novel. The book publishers approached me about doing a mixtape as a companion to the book. So we did that, put that out about 3 weeks ago. It's got original tracks, new tracks with Common and Kweli and Black Thought. Black Thought rhyming actually on the Nas New York State of Mind beat, which I'm one of the, I think, 2 or 3 people in the world to possess. So that is a track that will never get sent over email. So what we were talking about before. And beyond that, really, I think as an independent artist in this day and age, you have to have your hands in a million different things. And I saw on the days worksheet, that's one of the topics of discussion. So always a lot of irons in the fire. And the next big thing for me is working on my sort of proper album with all the artists that I've worked on the mixtapes with. And the last thing is that I'm also a tour DJ for Black Thought from The Roots. So we do something called the live mixtape, which is basically sort of non-stop, rapid fire, mix on stage with Black Thought, just going to town on every kind of beat I can throw at them. So that's a lot of fun.
Have you heard that Black Thought? I guess for me, I'm kind of at that point in my career where I have sort of more of a luxury to kind of work with people that inspire me. But I think the bulk of the stuff I'm doing now is just kind of being a producer, connecting with different people that inspire me, that I connect with, that, hopefully I can break bread with, which has been really good lately. So, as far as recent projects, Pusha T just dropped his Rap the Game mixtape. So I did join there called Re-Up Gang Motivation. Doing a lot of stuff with Ryan Leslie right now. He just dropped a video single for Carnival of Venice, which I produced. And me and Cardiac Flatliner doing most of that album, along with Ryan, of course, producing a lot of it too. And still doing a lot of different things. Like I guess a lot of stuff with good music is sort of happening right now with Kanye working on material, and Common and Big Sean and those guys, and of course Pusha T working on his solo. So pretty much kind of heavily involved with whatever those guys have going on, and some stuff with Shady too. Eminem's working on his album, so I'm going out to LA in a couple weeks to kind of get in there with those guys a little bit, and like I said, just kind of getting to where I fit in and having fun with it. So.
And lastly, and then we're going to get to some questions.
Well, I am one half of a punk rap group called Ninja Sonic, and we are scheduled to drop our sophomore album. We dropped it this summer, and it's executive produced by White Shadow, and we're putting it out with Decon, so it's going to be real fun. We're prepared for a lot of punk rap and a little pop feel, so hopefully we get to you guys' side of the pond and y'all can dance to it and have fun with it.
Perfect. All right. Thank you all for being so informative. We're not done with you yet. I'd like to, at this time, invite our folks here to ask some questions if they want to. So if you just put your hands up if you've got something to ask. We're back in school right now. So put your hands up if you've got a question, please, and I'll get to you. You there, sir?
Hey, I'm Byron Morgan. I run a technology software company called Vinyl Mints that allows musicians to collaborate and create music together around the world. One of the cool things that I heard you guys talking about was music technologies. So what are the things that you guys are using or listening to discover new music and new sounds nowadays?
Well, me personally, social network is like where it all started. know, like, so basically, any social network, anybody, like, it's like, there used to be a time where, you know, to get to anybody, whether A-list, C-list, B-list, you wouldn't be able to get to. Now, like, they'll follow you back and hit you up, or you hit them, next thing you know, we're in the G now, just sitting